Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Build a Nation Finland, in which we are managing TPS, which was in the first division of Finland, now in the Veikkausliiga, which is the Premier League equivalent of Finnish football. Now everything's ticked over. It's now become the new season. We've got a scouting budget which is a little bit higher than the original targets because we've moved it around to get better packages and try and find some free agents to help bolster the squad. As I can show you here as well, the league is fully reset. We're now properly into the Veikkausliiga. So some of the things which I'm going to go through today is the fact that we're now a professional club, the tactics, some of the training that I've decided to mess around with, and to show you what happened in the first game of the Finnish Cup, which I played off camera, sorry. And I'll also show you the transfers that we've made so far and give you an idea how we're going to line up for this upcoming season. So first of all, I'll show you the transfers, and I've gone back to the previous season because with these being free transfers, I could have done them at the end of last season before it officially changed to this new 2023 season. What I did over here was, I think I mentioned in the last episode that Eric Macichak, I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce his name, but that's one of my best attempts to do it, so there it is. Eric Macichak, he is the first signing that we made for this upcoming season. He's going to be one of our key players. He's on a full-time contract, which is great because, as I mentioned before, we've now gone professional, which the board didn't agree with at the end of last season. But then, the moment the game officially updated to put us into the top division, they sent us a little message and said, "Hey, let's go professional." So here we are. But what I want to do with this professional status, I'll quickly show you, and then go back to the transfers. Is that not everybody is on full-time contracts yet? I want to try and do this sustainably for the club because obviously Finland's not exactly a country full of money. There's not exactly a load of money to be brought in from the TV rights and deals and all that kind of stuff, and competition money is not really a thing. It's very, very low in comparison to, say, England, or to be fair, probably the top 25 divisions has way more money, but we're nowhere near the top 25 divisions right now. But hopefully, in, say, 5-10 years, we can start getting our way up there and have a little bit more money in TV rights and so forth. So, yeah, we don't really have everyone on full-time contracts. I've done the same with staff. Not everybody's on full-time there. There's still some people kind of on part-time contracts because of the original agreements and because of how recently they agreed to their new contract, because I didn't expect to go full time because, as I say, I was rejected for that, and then it changed like a few weeks later. So in time, we can kind of change these to full time. For now, we've got like a new batch of staff in there, which are all full time. Likewise with the medical, the scouting staff, and some of the under 20s, which I've tried to focus on a little bit more going into this season. So going back to transfers, I can bring up Macichak again. So what I'm going to do is, as you might be able to see here, I'm playing him as a register. I'm going to try and incorporate that into our next tactic for this upcoming season. Try and really get our style of play. Plus, I'm a massive fan of a register. My favourite player is Andrea Pirlo, or should I say was player. It was Andrea Pirlo, so the register is quite something like deep in me. I really like the role. I don't think I always make it work, but I really want to try this time to make that one of our main roles in our formation for years to come. Following Macichak, we also signed another centre-back because we was very low in centre-backs, which I think I've shown you last time. So Tyler McGlaw is someone who's on a part-time contract. He was signed before the full-time change. Because now every contract that I sign is a full-time contract. There's no part-time option or anything like that, or non-contract. He's a decent player. I think he should be good for this league. There's a few things he's not great with here, but he's going to fill a hole and he's going to be like a rotation centre back, really. He also is 24, so he's got a little bit of time to grow a little extra. He's not going to grow massively, but it's going to be something. What we brought in as well is David Ajiboy, who is going to be probably our main right winger going forward. Rantanen's going to take a back seat and play as the rotation option. David seems like he's got some good stats, very quick. He's great at dribbling. He's got an okay work rate, because that's another thing I want to focus and trying to bring into the club culture is a good work rate. I value work rate over a lot of things, just in like a realistic kind of setting. So I don't care about the stats necessarily. I'd take a good work rate over, say, like 2 or 3 stats, which you kind of would want. Even though it's not really how it works in game, it's still some kind of realism that I want to keep in the game. Another player that we signed was Derek Osede, who is a centre back, but he can also play ball winning midfielder, which is, I think, one of the important things when you have a register is you need a good ball winning midfielder. So say for example like the Milan 2004, 5, 6 with Pirlo, Gattuso, you have the register and then you have a pit bull next to him who's going to win the ball back and do all his defensive work. That's exactly what Asade's going to do. And then to back him up will be Norton or Horton, I can't remember his name, one of the youth intake players from last season. He's going to fill that gap as the rotation player. It's going to be great. Another centre mid that we have this season is Anas Ahanak, who's a Dutch fella. He looks like he's decent across the board. He should be able to fill a good gap for us. I'm not sure yet if I want to have Ahanak or Pohjalainen as our main centre mid, because Pohjalainen has good potential and he's a homegrown player, which is something I need to have. I think maybe 4 in the starting lineup and 9 in the overall squad. So I really do need to keep some Finnish players in the squad and try and make them first team capable, just to make sure I follow the rules and have a squad submit. But he'll do a good job for me. Like I said, I'm not sure if he's going to be first or second option. I'm not exactly. I don't remember what I actually offered him in terms of playing time. Squad player, so that's not too bad. He won't be demanded to play every single game. In terms of outs, just for the back end of last season, Jalonen has gone out on loan to VJS. Udstrom has also gone out on loan because I don't think he's going to play. Maybe I've left myself a little bit short because I've only got like 2 players in every position. Sure, there's some formation change that we could probably do to if we have a couple of injuries, but we should be fine. I think going forward, I don't think the schedule's too crazy. I think if say someone was out for a month, I think they maybe missed like 3, 4 games most, unless we're really unlucky with the fixtures and we get a couple of double game weeks, which would just be really unfortunate. So continuing on with the ins for in this actual calendar season, we have Juuso Kevari, who is not that great of a goalkeeper, but he'll be pretty much just a backup, and I think he's only signed as a backup or a fringe player or something like that. The reason we did that is to just go over here. We loaned out Otso Kuritu, who was going to be one of our backup goalkeepers. He's gone to PIF, which is a feeder club of ours, an affiliate club. He'll get some good game time over there. And I believe we have another goalkeeper who's in the youth team who's not good enough really to be a backup, and I don't want to play him because I want to do well this season. Really try and give it everything that we've got and see how we line up in comparison to everyone else in the league and get a good idea of where our standard is right now. Going back over to the ins, we have Daniel Bredig, who is a centre back who's going to be again probably another squad player. He's actually on a full-time contract, which is good. He's got a fantastic work rate, which, as I already mentioned, I love a good work rate. But he's going to be a backup option, and I think we're going to try and run with Jelinek and I think Taimi as our main centre backs like last season. We needed a new right back, so we now have Juho Hyverinen, who's fantastic potential, great free agent as well. He left our rivals Inter Turku last season. He played a fair amount of games, I'd probably say that's like an average rating, but he's looked okay so far in pre-season. Hopefully he can start developing quite quickly. And I think that sums everything up for our transfers. I mean, this was a transfer, I don't even know where he was in our squad. He left on a free, that's fine. Likewise with this guy, it's whatever. This is our squad going into this upcoming season. I'll give you a quick chance to just whiz through this in order. We have 2 goalkeepers. We have like 4 centre backs with these 2 who can also play centre back, but they're going to be our ball winning midfielders this season. We have Taimi who can fill in right back. We have Kinnunen who's going to be a squad player who can fill in both sides. Likewise with Sunderman on left back. We're going to be running with Adji Hoxha, as our youth academy player who's just going to be tearing it up. He's already gone from 2.5 to 3 stars just in this pre-season, which is fantastic. We've got quite a few centre mids or people who can play that role, but what we're going to do for this season is have Magicek as a register with Simon Kalina, who was last season a DLP for us, but he's going to play the register backup for us because he's not as good as he was last season. So he has the qualities to fill that role quite well. So he's starting to learn that role now and just be a backup option. For the right centre mid, we have Pohilainen and Anas Ahanak, which I mentioned before. They're going to fight for that right centre mid spot. I'm not sure yet who is going to be the man for that spot. The left side was the ball winning midfielders, which is Chris Horton and Derek Asadi. For the left side of attack, we have Stojkovic and Hamalainen. On the right side, we've got Ajiboye and Rantanen, with our two strikers, Royha and Paila. And just to give you a quick idea of how they're going to line up, this is, I think, our strongest lineup that we have right now. Maybe if we had Ahanak in the right centre mid instead, maybe that's a little stronger, but Pohilainen needs to get better. We need to have a handful of players that are going to fulfil the criteria of homegrown talent to keep in the first team squad. And right now in this lineup, we have Huvarinen, who's not homegrown for us, but in the nation. Hoxer, which is at the club. Taimi in the nation. Koppinen in the nation. Pohilainen with us, and Paila with us. So we've got like 3 from the club, 3 from the country, which is good enough. That's going to fit. And I think we need 9 overall, which is why I decided to get Yuso Kevari to fill in the gap of the goalkeeper that we loaned out. So it's still a Finnish player to replace, and he's okay. He can be a backup. Kinnunen also from the country. Horton, I think, trained in the country. I think. Yeah, he's trained at the club, so he's fine. He counts to that too. And Hamalainen and Royha also in the nation. I think Hamalainen is actually from the club. Yeah. But this is how we're going to line up. It's quite a positive formation for us. We've got to register the ball winning midfielder, quite a all-out attack up front. 2 central defenders are going to defend, and wing backs, hopefully you can kind of get up there and overlap. And for the possession instructions, this is what we have. Transition instructions and out of possession. This is what we're going to run with this season. I've not really messed around with our other formations, but I mean, we always have the 4-2-3-1 from last season that we can kind of drop into if we needed to. And I've not really messed about yet with a 5-back formation. I think if I did this, it'd probably go further wide, I think, with the wingers. Look to have them cut in and these overlap. Try something like that. I'm not entirely sure. It's probably a third option, to be honest. This will be the first. I think the 4-2-3-1 is the backup. I'm not sure if it shows here, but we did actually get a request to have youth recruitment go up. I think the bar showed that it's already completed, or like it's been accepted either way. So this should, in time, if it's not already gone up, I don't remember what it was last season, but this should be better than what it was, or at least upgraded to be the same as what it was if it had deteriorated. Whilst I was flirting around with tactics and trying to find the way I wanted to line up this season and refining the squad to be not an overloaded amount and quite sort of able to be personalised and have the right people where I wanted them to be and to play the certain way that I want, we had a bit of a mixed bag of results. And to be honest, most of these are top tier teams in our league. VPS are a good side. HJK also a good side. We played in a little cup here for the financial boost, of course. Enter Turku, who was our big rivals. We had a good home draw there. And then for the first proper game of the season, we had the Suomen Cup in the group stage against HJK away from home. And honestly, this, for our first proper game in the big league against the biggest team of Finland, I'll take that all day long. I mean, it was a 1-1. Sure, we should have won the game. We absolutely dominated in shots on target, XG. We also had a solid amount of possession as well, which is something I kind of want with this team, but I'm not really relying on that right now because I don't think we're good enough to have the ball. Maybe in comparison to the rest of the league, we're actually up there with technical ability, but it's not something I'm pressing on for right now. And just a quick glimpse of the finances, we're negative 16k at the moment, and projections look just like this. So it's time to go into the second game of the Suomen Cup, and we did have two injuries. Oh, two injuries. It's flu for 2 weeks, so nowadays I guess that's COVID. So we need to take Osedi out for Horton as the ball in midfielder. Anas was going to play this game, but now he's not going to play because he's out with the Rona. So Pohjalainen will keep his place. I'm thinking of giving Maguire his debut, and I think I'm going to keep with the same team because they played very well against HJK. It's a good way of kind of giving them a little bit of a reward, keep giving them game time for good performances. I think Kalina needs time still before he's somewhat relevant as the register. So I think playing 20, 30 minutes, depending on how the game's going, from the bench will be decent enough for him. I think apart from that, I think we're ready to go. Hopefully, we could do much better than last season against Nistan because we lost the first game, drew the second, and I think maybe won. I think we won all 5 games of the qualifying for the Vikasliga, like the promotion groups. That's the one. So hopefully we can batter them every single time with the improvements that we've made. Just give them a strong finger, and hopefully we can get a great result. Oof. Nice little free kick. This is a good position. Stick timey. He's an absolute giant, this guy. He's like 6'4", great in the air. Here we go. That's going to be a double yellow, that. Send him off. Here we go. This has got to be an easy game now. 10 men, 72 on shots, 1-0 up. We're just getting started now, surely. Corner, header. Oh, it's a scramble, but none of them put it in. Oh, we won it very high up the pitch. A little bit of tiki-taka. How about that? With Verinen. How do we get this back? High press. Nah. If we'd have conceded that, I would have been pretty annoyed. I think it's going to be time for some substitutes. I can't really bring Horton off. I'm going to bring Ajiboy off because he's not... I think last game, if I remember rightly, as well, he had like a 6.5 and now he's only 6.8. Horton would have been brought off, but there's no one really to take that spot. I think I'm going to bring Roy Hat on for Paila. And I think I'm going to leave it at that and maybe bring Kalina on in like 10 minutes or something. I think Macichak needs to be left on a little bit longer and hopefully he can create something to get a 2-goal cushion, and then we should be fine to see the rest of the game out. Here comes Stojkovic. Macichak. Hiverinen, Macichak. Tiki-taka. Big ball in. Oh, come on, man. Now I'm going to pull the plug. Macichak's getting injured, getting tired. So, Kalina, bang, straight in there. And let's bring on... I can't bring Stojkovic off. Not with that rating. I think I'm going to bring Kinnunen on for Hiverinen. I think that's all we're going to do for subs. Hopefully we can get another goal because it's kind of poor with the amount of goals that we've got. I'm actually going to demand more if we miss a chance here. Yeah, I mean, we've had like 20-something shots here, like 4 shots on target of 23 shots. Like, what is this? 2.7 expected goals. It's like, oh my god. This is going to be our problem, is we're not finishing chances. I mean, our strikers have decent finishing, so I'm not sure why they're not going in. What was that, man? I just don't understand, like, why we can't score unless their keeper's been cracked, which it doesn't even look like it has been. I mean, ultimately, 25 shots, 4 on target. We need to work on. I think I need to put some conversion training in there because we need to make the most of these shots because that's poor. Like, almost a 3 expected goals, and we sat there on 1 against 10 men. But I'm going to wrap it up there for today. I'm going to give these a little shouting out because, I mean, we got to win, but it was a let-off. I think I'm going to go here, regardless of what they say. Demotivated, tough tits. I mean, you can't have 24 shots and come out 1-0 against 10 men. Like, what is that? As long as we win, ultimately, that's what matters. But you kind of want to see a better performance from 24 shots against 10 men. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today. So make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with everything that's going to go on with this Build a Nation save, and drop a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.